Welcome, I'm Cassandra, and this is your general forecast for October 2018. This is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so for the first card, this is Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, and Gemini Risings. So we have the Knight of Swords. So this is the Gemini card. So you guys are definitely feeling yourselves for sure. Now, just a quick glance at the reading. Wow. Okay, just wow. But especially looking at the attitude card, because this indicates you, and then this is the attitude. So when we have both of these combined, this is definitely going to be indicating that there is some sort of type of obsession that could be taking place, This could be an obsession, to a situation, to proving something, an obsession with achieving, there are so many different obsessions, but you get my point. So obsessions could be a little bit of a driving force for some of you. For a few of you, this could be addictions as well, but we'll get to that. Okay, so the Knight of Swords. Typically, this is the fast-moving knight, and this is the Gemini card, so this tells me right off the bat that there is a situation that is literally coming down the pipe, like right now, or it is already moving away, but I feel like this is something that is taking place like right now, and it's almost like there has to be a quick decision that has to be made regarding this information that's going to be coming in, okay? And I would really like to stress here when making this choice, because it's almost like some of you could be presented with an opportunity, and I feel that this is where it's going to go for a lot of you, is an opportunity could potentially be presented, and you may have to make a decision very quickly regarding this. But I want to caution you, because we really need to not make an impulsive decision, because this can get us in a bit of some trouble. So, just like the air element, I would definitely say, use your logic, use your reasoning abilities, don't make a hasty decision. Try to analyze things. I understand that the decision is going to be needed to be made fast, but I just want you guys to come to a studied choice rather than an impulsive one, because when we're impulsive, we can make decisions that we later can regret. So I just want to warn you guys of that. That's not going to be for every single one of you, but that is going to resonate with some of you. Now, this can also be about, informing, letting someone know the truth of the matter. Maybe perhaps you're trying to prove a point of view, your own personal point of view, or maybe you're trying to prove the truth, or whatever it may be. So this is where we can actually end up in some potential verbal conflicts. So there's definitely a need to try to be careful, because this is some pretty rebellious type of energy. And Gemini, you guys tend to think so quickly that it just, comes right out the mouth. And we really need to try to think about what we're saying before we say it, because it could come across as hurtful to someone else. Plus, we want to make sure that we're actually saying the right things and we have all of the right info and we've done all of our research. But we do need to be careful on how we say things, because this can cause problems later down the line, okay? And hey, you know, you might actually be right, but at the same time, we still need to be careful on how we say it. Now, it is clarified by the Strength card. So the Strength card to me is, you know, you guys are really relying on that inner strength. But seeing the Strength card and the Knight of Swords together almost makes me feel like, again, you know, this is a bit of some obsession, because the Strength card can be about our shadow side, so to speak. Now, thankfully, it's in the upright position, but the Strength card is also bringing the message that, you know, when you go to speak your message, you need to speak this message with love and with compassion. We need to come from the heart, because it will be received much better that way. So do try to keep that in mind. Because if we're just super, you know, impulsive and just pushy and just don't think about what we're saying and just let it, you know, fly out of our mouth, we can end up hurting somebody or several people, you know, and that can later down the line cause, you know, drama, conflicts, opposition, you know, with one person or with a group of people, you know. So just when you speak, make sure you're speaking from the heart and you're speaking with compassion, because this will help. You guys have so much energy that it's hard for a lot of us to keep up. That, you know, if we're not Gemini, we can have a hard time keeping up with you guys, you know. So yep, just something to remember. Okay, so Circumstances card, we have the Emperor. So you guys are definitely taking charge, so to speak. Stepping into that personal power, loving it, you know. So, I mean, for some of you, this could be an older male, you know, could be a father, could be a grandfather, could be an uncle, or this could just simply be a person in authority. This could be you wanting to step into a position of authority. You know, sometimes this can be a card where, you know, maybe we're tired of being told what to do and we want to strike out and do things on our own. You know, for some of you, you might be wanting to start your own business, or, you know, it can be many different things. But ultimately, the Emperor is a man of authority, and he's powerful. And you guys are definitely feeling very ambitious and empowered right now. So I'm loving the energy, I really am. I just want you guys to be careful, because this is ruled by Aries. Then we have the Knight of Swords, which is ruled by Gemini. So, you know, both of these types of energies can be impulsive. And that's why I say let's just be careful when it comes to speaking. We want to make sure we're saying the right things rather than speaking impulsively, because these things can get us into trouble. So, yeah. But, I mean, this is definitely about taking charge. You know, for some of you, maybe you have just not been living life. Maybe you've just been letting life, you know, go day by day, and you're just going with the flow. Well, you know, this card could be saying, hey, it's time for you to take charge of your life. Take charge of this situation or that situation. Take charge of your own destiny. How about that? So this is definitely that type of card of, you know, taking on that position of authority. You know, we need to be in charge of our destiny, and you guys are definitely feeling that ambition and feeling powerful. Okay, so for the focus, we have the Seven of Wands in reverse. Now the focus is like, the focal point of the entire reading here. So we have the Seven of Wands in reverse. So this is about stiff competition. And this competition can be taking place within your personal life, or it can be taking place in your business life. For some of you, it could be taking place in both aspects of your life. Every Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising is different. All of our situations are different. So you'll know where you fit in there. Now, this is a card of competition. But when this card is in the reverse like this, sometimes there can be threats that we may receive from, our competition. But I wouldn't worry about the threats, because typically it's like all bark, no bite. So for some of you might be competing for a job. Some of you might be competing for, say, a financial or creative investment or collaboration or opportunity or whatever it may be. So there's definitely a competition of some sorts, or an area of life where you feel like you are having to compete against other people. Now, typically with this card in the reverse position, like I said, the person that may be saying some obnoxious threats tends to be all bark and no bite. So it's like, really, your position is good. You'll be all right. Now, I want to clarify, I got the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse position. So this is just an indication that even though things are probably going to go in your favor, this is basically saying you're going to have to work hard for it, though. You can't expect it to just fall into your lap magically, So it's like, yeah, we've got luck, but at the same time, we don't have enough luck to where it's going to magically fall into our hands, We're going to have to get our hands dirty. We're going to have to work hard for whatever this opportunity is. Whatever you're competing for, we're going to have to work hard for it. And that means rolling up our sleeves and getting our hands dirty and actually having to work. So get prepared to work if this is what you really want. Okay, so for the recent past, we have the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is a very, very intuitive woman. Now, I should say this. This could be an actual person that was in your life. This person could be male. They could be female. They don't have to be female just because it says Queen of Cups. They could be male or female. Or this could simply be the energy that you were going through. This could have been an energy that you had taken on yourself. Okay, so the Queen of Cups, she's very intuitive. And she tends to rely more on her intuition rather than logic. She has a very, very powerful imagination. That imagination can actually be a bit of an asset for her, when she's placed in the right specific job field. It can definitely benefit her. Sometimes we can see someone like this that could be in a healing type of profession, or where they would take care of someone. Because this queen is very concerned with how others are being treated and how they feel, what their feelings are. Typically, I tend to associate her as a Scorpio, but I also get some Cancer vibes off of her. But no matter what, imagination. This is more what I'm feeling for you guys. The imagination and the intuition. So some of you might have even, you know, tapped into the imagination and perhaps maybe manifested this particular situation to come about. Now that's definitely not going to resonate with all of you. For some of you, you could have been dealing with a woman or a male with some characteristics like this, or, you know, some of you could have been potentially dealing with a mother or a mother type of figure. You know, could even be an aunt, you know, mother, grandmother, even stepmother, sometimes even a mother-in-law. But she would have a good disposition. She would be a kind, warm-hearted type of person. Now, for some of you, this could be indicating that maybe, especially if you were taking on this energy, maybe you've been relying on your intuition rather than your logic. That'll resonate with some of you. Okay, so for the present, we have the Strength card yet again. So this is all about, you know, channeling and relying on that inner strength. You know, that's the card of saying, hey, you have this tremendous inner strength within. You know, you can make it through any type of situation because you have this great inner strength. And it's also about, like I said, you know, when we're trying to get our point across to someone in particular, or even, you know, a group of people, we need to do it in a way that is compassionate and, you know, in a loving way as well. We want to come from the heart. The Strength card is ruled by Leo, and Leo is all about the heart. So we got to come from the heart, okay? Because especially when it comes down to us, you know, having to prove our point of view or whatever it is that we're trying to prove or get across to someone, it will be received much better if it is done in a compassionate way and if you come from the heart. If we react impulsively and just blah, 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 you know, it's not going to be received so well, okay? But again, you know, this is also about our inner strength and saying, hey, no matter what you've been through, no matter what you're going through right now, you have this tremendous inner strength. And you need to rely on it. You are so much stronger than you realize. Okay? So, don't forget that. Because you really are strong. And I think some of you need to hear that, you know. Some of us, you know, we might be dealing with some depression, anxiety, you know, maybe there could be a little bit of a lack of confidence or self-esteem or even self-worth. And I don't want you guys feeling that way. And that's why I say you guys have this tremendous strength within you. And you've got this. You can do this. Sometimes we can make ourselves out to be so much worse than what we really are. So just, you know, come from that place of love and compassion, and we will be received well, okay? That's the trick, that's the answer. That's how we get through to other people, is we must come from, and you know, from the heart. Come from the heart. But, you know, Leo is also about drama too, so, you know, and hey, let's not joke around. You Gemini energy, you guys can be dramatic too. And we combine that with Leo, woo, you know, we can have over-the-top dramatics. So, we just want to make sure we're not being overly dramatic, but still come from the heart. But it doesn't have to be done in an extremely dramatic way, if you get my point. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so, King of Wands. This is your near future. So, the King of Wands, this is a king that is very much a leader. Now, I should go ahead and say this real quick. This could be someone that is about to come into your life, okay? Or this could be a particular situation that is about to come into your life. Or this could be some overall energy that you could be channeling in the near future. This does not necessarily have to be a man. It could be a female. And they could be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Okay. Now, this is definitely someone who is a leader. This is someone who has great ambition. They have a lot of confidence. They are extremely confident in themselves and in their own abilities. They are proud. You know, they can be pretty enthusiastic as well. You know, they definitely carry themselves very confidently. That's for certain. They're very, very passionate, especially in what they believe. You know, they very much are leaders. They've got those leadership qualities. And, you know, sometimes this can be someone who is a mentor. You know, this could be someone that could potentially be a father type of figure. You know, that'll resonate with some, but not all of you, okay? But no matter what, this could be someone who could potentially be really good at getting other people to realize their own potential. And this is someone who has no problem in helping and advising, you know, and even teaching them. But most of all, you know, this is about, you must have confidence. And, you know, with that confidence and that belief in yourself, that, you know, you can do anything that your heart desires. You know, you have the ability. And boy, do you guys have the energy. But, you know, this is all about growth and potential and leadership. So for some of you, you could be offered a position of authority. Someone could try to help you out and mentor you. Someone might give you some very good advice. Someone could offer you an opportunity. You know, this could be, you know, a creative opportunity. This could be a business opportunity. You know, this could be just, you know, advice. This could be many different things. Okay, so it's clarified by the Faith card in the reverse position. So the Faith card, this is about conforming. And when it's in the reverse position like this, this is you know, us refusing to conform. So it can be a bit of a rebellious type of attitude or stance. You know, maybe we're just tired of falling into line with what everybody else expects us to do. Maybe we're just coming to a point where it's like, you know what, I want to do what I'm passionate about. I don't want to have to constantly please this person or that person. I'm ready to please myself. I'm ready to be happy with where I'm at. You know, that's going to resonate with a few of you. But yes, this is definitely about you know, we're refusing to conform. We're ready to march to our own drumming beat, so to speak. You know, we're ready to break away from the pack. We don't want to do what everybody else is doing. We don't want to be a sheep, so to speak. You know, it's like we're ready to, you know, blaze our own trail rather than following following someone else's trail. We're ready to blaze our own path, So, that's great energy. Just, make sure that we're not being super impulsive. Let's analyze, okay? Make sure we're making the right choices, because this is some extra rebellious energy. And the Knight of Swords, you guys have that rebellious energy. It's not always activated, so to speak, but it's within us, so. And seeing the Faith card in reverse, just, I can't help but feel like rebellious. But at the same time, this is, hey, I'm tired of conforming. I'm tired of falling into line with what, certain people expect out of me. I'm ready to go my own way. I'm ready to do what I want to do rather than what everybody else thinks I should do. I totally get that. Okay, so yeah, here we are, the Attitude card. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, the devil made me do it. So, yeah. I'm definitely getting the vibe here, but, with all of these cards, that there are some obsessions that are definitely coming up for you guys over the month of October. Now, for some of you, this could be obsessions, For some of you, there could be some sort of an addiction that could be rearing its ugly head. Obsessions and addictions can be to many different things. Now, when it comes to addictions, especially with the Devil card, the biggest one tends to always be sex, because the Devil card is a very sexualized card. So we can see addictions and even obsessions with sex. There could be obsessions and addictions to, even working, Some of us, tend to work so much that we just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and then we don't even realize the damage that we're doing to ourselves. We can actually make ourselves sick because we refuse to take a break. There can be an addiction to shopping. There could be, an addiction to smoking or eating the wrong things, or, gambling, or, alcohol, many different things. Heck, there could even be an obsession and an addiction to fearful type of thinking. Now, the Devil card also rules toxic karmic relationships as well. So I'm getting the feeling that some of you could be dealing with a bit of a karmic situation. And this is going to occur because the karma needs to be cleared up so that we can move forward. That's not going to resonate with every single one of you. It's not meant to. Okay. But fear comes up a lot with the Devil card as well. And as I was saying earlier, some of you might actually, struggle with a lot of fears. Maybe you feel like you can't pull this off, or you can't pull that off. Maybe you don't have enough confidence in yourself. Maybe you don't believe in yourself. Maybe someone else has actually put those types of thoughts into your head. Well, don't listen to them if they have, okay? Because you need to make your own decision. You don't want people to tell you how you are. You want to know how you are yourself. Learn yourself. Discover yourself. This is where the Strength card, it's done popped out twice. The Strength card can be about our shadow side. And to truly know oneself, we must understand our dark shadow side, and we must understand our, light side as well. So, introspection. That's how I'm going to leave it. Okay, now, let me just say, this does make me a bit worried, okay? So this is how other people see you. We have the Three of Cups in reverse. So this can indicate that we might be speaking without thinking, and then this ends up hurting. You know, this could be us hurting a friend. This could be us hurting a significant other. This could actually be us hurting a group of people's feelings. Again, Knight of Swords energy here. So this is kind of why I started out, and when I said, you know, taking a quick look and scanning the reading over just on the surface, this is why I brought up it's very important that we say things the right way, that we think about what we're going to say before we say it, because there is the potential that we could potentially upset some people. You know, it could be one person or it could be a group of people. And then there's going to be a need to apologize. For some of you, this could be you on the receiving end. Maybe someone owes you an apology. But my overall feeling here is, for most of you, you might end up needing to apologize to someone. Now again, you could fall on either side of that, because every Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs situations are different. Now this card can also be about gossip. Gossip is a big one. Gossip can come from the Knight of Swords as well. So don't allow yourself to get caught up in some gossip. You know, maybe some of you might hear some of your friends engaging in some juicy gossip, and you might want to jump right in and spill your tea, but I'm going to say be careful because this can really come back to bite you. Now, for some of you, you might find yourself on the other end where you could be the person that is being gossiped about. But no matter what, there's definitely some sort of hurt feelings, whether it is you or someone else in your life or a group of people. There is some hurt feelings. And so somebody needs to say they're sorry. Okay, so this would be hopes and fears. Sometimes this can be a little bit of a information that comes from the subconscious mind. We have the Four of Wands. So this is a very, very positive card. This is a card of prosperity, happiness, you know, a celebration. You know, sometimes it can be about, you know, a marriage, you know, a honeymoon. Sometimes it can be like a family reunion. Sometimes it can be like a reunion with friends. Sometimes we're celebrating because, you know, we achieved something. It is very much a card of prosperity and happiness and even good health. It's also a card of, you know, family happiness. Happiness within the home. Okay. Now, this one concerns me as well. So, Nine of Coins in reverse. This is the final outcome card. Typically, I tend to associate this card as someone who could be self-employed, or someone who could be like an independent agent and an independent contractor, or someone who just, you know, owns their own business, someone who is doing some form of self-employment. You know, sometimes this can be about investments that we're making. But this is also a card that has to do with financial independence, financial self-sufficiency, you know, and when it's in the reverse position, there tends to be a loss of money. So without going any farther into this, This is purely channeled, by the way, okay? This is not from the cards. This is a channeled message right here. And it's only going to be for some of you, not all of you. But there is the potential that someone could try to scam you or con you out of your money. So you need to be careful of that. And if this person, if they do try to con you out of your money, this person will come across as very convincing, okay? Like you would never guess in a million years that they would do that. Because they have a very good cover, a very good storyline. They are very, very convincing. It's almost like they smell of money, you know? But yeah, that's just a warning, and I really hate to even say that because I'm not trying to instill fear into anyone. I just want you guys to be careful, okay? Especially if this, you know, is where we're having to invest our money in something. We need to be careful. This is where we need to pull out that Gemini logic, reasoning, analyze, analyze, analyze. This is why I say don't make quick, hasty decisions. I realize that somebody might present some of you with an opportunity, but we need to analyze. Okay. So yeah, not everybody's going to potentially have to deal with someone like that, but I just wanted to make mention of it because it is going to resonate with some of you. Okay, now for the rest of you, you know, this could indicate, you know, that perhaps maybe you could be spending more money than you should be. It's like our eyes are bigger than our wallet. This is where we can end up overextending ourselves financially because we're looking at it like, oh, you know, I got this money coming in. We need to be careful. Because this is definitely a card that's indicating we really need to tighten the budget down. We need to pay attention on where we're putting our money. Because this is indicating, you know, some financial tough time that is coming up. Now again, I should mention, we do have free will. And if we're prepared for this situation, and we take that time to analyze and do our research, we could potentially avoid losing money. And so this 9 of coins can go to the upright position. So, you know, just remember we have free will. This is not set in stone for all of us. By simply choosing that I'm not going to be impulsive, I'm going to analyze any offers or opportunities that come my way. By simply doing that, we can bring this card to the upright position. If we make an impulsive decision, this is undoubtedly where we end up. You know, it doesn't have to be a huge loss of money. For some of you, it could be the loss of a job. You know, a loss of some source of income. It doesn't have to be your complete income. It could just be a portion of your income. Especially if you have income that comes from multiple sources. This could also be indicating a bad investment. So, you know, if any investment opportunities are presented, this is definitely saying, hey, be careful. You need to research what you're investing your money into. Well, you can do anything that you want. You can. We just need to be smart on how we do it. We need to get that research. We need to analyze it. we just don't want to make impulsive decisions. You know, we don't want to be hasty because that's where we can get ourselves into trouble. Sorry if I'm like beating the same drum over and over again. I just want to prevent you guys from getting into that hole, so to speak. Because we can very much keep that from happening if we take the time to analyze and do our research. We don't want to make an impulsive, hasty decision. And also, you know, try to take your emotions out of it. Because our emotions can cloud our judgment. So, you know, this is why we need to have that logic, the reasoning ability. We need to separate the emotions. We need to take a step back and look at things objectively. Analyze, do the research. You know, make a decision that is, you know, studied rather than hasty. Okay. Okay, so I got two clarifying cards for the Nine of Coins in reverse. The first one is the Chariot in the reverse position. Okay, so it looks like you could have potentially made an enemy or an adversary for some of you. That's not going to resonate with all of you. It's not supposed to. But for some of you it will. This is why I say we need to be very careful on how we speak and what we say. I'm all about speaking your truth. Just, you know, be careful on how you say it and make sure you don't offend other people, because this can attract an adversary or an enemy. I'm going to say for some of you it could actually turn a friend against you. Or several. Now the Chariot is about going after, you know, a goal that we have in mind. But when the Chariot is in the reverse position, it's kind of like we're just running these people over, you know, trying to get there. But unfortunately, with the Chariot in reverse, all forward movement has ceased. It's stopped. It's like the wheels are breaking. And so, with that said, this can be a warning for some of you that you need to get your vehicle checked out quickly. If you have experienced something off in your vehicle, you know, that's been acting a little wonky, this is the time to get it in and get it checked out real quick before something could happen, because, you know, this is a card that could be indicating that the loss of money comes due to a vehicle problem. Okay? This is also a warning that you need to not be speeding while driving, okay? We could potentially end up getting a ticket, and this causes a loss of money. For some of us, this could be, you know, a tire blowing out and then it causes us even more damage. For some of us, this could even be an accident. Again, I don't like instilling fear. It's just, with the card here, the energy is possible, but it doesn't mean that it will manifest. If you are not out there driving reckless and being careless and impulsive and speeding, then you don't have to worry so much, okay? So do be careful. Now, this is also a bit of a warning saying, hey, if you really want to achieve this particular goal, which seems like a financial goal to me, if you really want to achieve this, then we need to take a break. Because it's like we're pushing ourselves, we're obsessing about it, and we're pushing ourselves beyond the brink. We are exhausting ourselves mentally, emotionally, physically. And this in turn can cause us to have low stamina and can cause us to be fatigued and, you know, just plain ill. We don't feel well. Our physical vitality is very low. So if you have been a workhorse and pushing yourself beyond the brink, take a break now before something happens to make us take that break, okay? You got to listen to your body. And sometimes, you know, when we're super stressed out and anxious, you know, this is like adding gasoline to a fire. So don't be afraid to take a break, because sometimes taking this break, this time out, can give us that time to actually take that step back after calming down, and then we can start to see things clearly. And hey, if we do that, in no time we can have this chariot and the 9 of coins to the upright position, moving forward, heading for that goal, you know? So don't be fearful about it. Just, you know, make the necessary changes. If you catch yourself being impulsive, working too much, speeding, stop. Slow it down. Slow it down. Okay. So, here we have the 5 of Wands. This is very much a card of confusion and conflicts and struggles. Sometimes this can be a card where we are having a conflict with one person. Sometimes it can be a group of people. I'm telling you, wow. And these conflicts can be, it's kind of like it'll start with one thing, and then it can like literally morph into something completely different, to where we end up, it started because of this one minor little thing or disagreement, and then there can end up being 100 different things that are piled on top of it, because we started here but it turns into something completely different, you know, because it's like constant conflict after conflict after conflict. So my best advice is when it comes to conflict, try to be the bigger person. If you have said something or done something that was perceived as hurtful or thoughtless, you know, just try to be the bigger person and apologize, you know, because that can stop this conflict dead in its tracks, okay? Because a lot of times the conflict will continue and keep going because maybe the hurt party just wants an apology. Now, you could be on either side of that, you know. You could be the one that wants the apology, or you could be the one that needs to give the apology. And typically, you know, this is where we need to sit down. We need to talk about things. We need to talk about things in a constructive way, rather than just, you know, getting angry and blowing our steam off on each other. You know, that just gets more disastrous. And again, that's another Leo card, so I'm getting a lot of Leo with you guys this month. Okay, bottom of the deck, we got the King of Coins. So you guys are definitely focused on making that material wealth. You're ready to make money. The King of Coins is someone that not only knows how to make money, they know how to make wealth. And they're happy to show you how to do it for yourself. Typically, this can be someone who is a banker, who is a broker, who is an entrepreneur. You know, many different things I could name forever and ever and ever. But this is a man that makes not only money, he makes wealth. So, to me, I feel like you guys are definitely focused on making money and obtaining that wealth. Okay, so it's clarified by the 3 of Coins. So, this is kind of like, hey, you want to make wealth? Well, then maybe you need to go in a different direction. Maybe we need to start learning a new skill. For some of you, this could be going and taking a course. For some of you, this could be going and, say to college. For some of you, this could be like a training program. But this is about learning a new skill, and this is very much the apprentice card. We're in the beginning stages. We're learning. But this is also a card where we are going to have to work with other people. Okay? And when we work with other people, we need to be careful of how we say things, because we could be perceived as a bit of a troublemaker when that may not even be our intention. Maybe we're just trying to point our finger out to something that's not right. But if we don't come across the right way, it could be, perceived as something much different. But this is about teamwork. Sometimes this can be about getting recognition, but this recognition tends to come more from a team perspective as opposed to personal recognition. But ultimately, this is about learning a new skill and being in the beginning phases of learning said skill. So some of you could be, getting some education, taking some courses, enrolling in school, or doing some on-job type of training, but definitely learning a new skill. And hey, believe in yourself, because you can do anything you want. You really can. We just need to always remember to rely on that inner strength and have confidence in yourself, believe in yourself, because you can do it. But we also need to make sure that we're not being combative. We want to make sure that we're coming from the heart and being compassionate. Even though we may have strong messages, feelings, opinions, whatever it may be, just try to come from the heart. Okay, keep your head up, you guys. You're going to make it. Woo! Like I said, be careful. No speeding, okay, guys? Be careful. I love you guys, and I'm sending you blessings of healing, prosperity, and love.